Hey everybody, Jim and Chris here to talk about the exciting news, official news. Marvel announced that Jon Bernthal, who you guys would know as Shane on Walking Dead, is the new Punisher. He's going to be Punisher in season 2 of Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix. That's a mouthful. So,
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? What do you think about the casting of Jon Bernthal?
Yeah, number one, first of all, I love that they're doing
Yeah.
that Daredevil is doing Punisher for the season 2. And I think Bernthal is actually perfect for it, especially because you're going to need the human dimension. I think they're probably going to set him up as a parallel to Daredevil, but somebody who goes even further.
Yeah, I mean, that would be in line with the Miller run on the character in the 80s. But, you know, I mean, people have to remember that Punisher started as a villain. He started as an antagonist of Spider-Man, and I think I could see the Netflix show doing that as well, where, you know, and I'm just spitballing here. What if, what if Daredevil, the more kind of liberal-minded, if you can say that about him, of the two, is actually put in a position where he has to save the life or protect the life of Kingpin because Punisher is just out to kill the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I feel like in season 1 of Daredevil, Daredevil was on the verge of killing a couple times. You know, definitely on the verge. I think that probably Fisk is going to have done something to Bernthal's or to Punisher's family, right?
Yeah.
And that is the crux of the reason he becomes the Punisher, as in keeping with his sort of mythology, and then just like is out to punish the people who created this situation.
Well, it would be interesting too. I mean, in the comics, you know, Frank Castle's a cop and his family gets killed. You know, how kind of corrupt maybe is the New York Police Department of this, you know, fictional universe.
It's pretty corrupt in season 1.
Yeah, I mean, so like, will he just start killing guys who had been cops too? I mean, it'll be interesting to see how far they go. I want to say this, Jeff Loeb said in the official announcement, Jon Bernthal brings an unmatched intensity to every role he takes on with a potent blend of power, motivation, and vulnerability that will connect with audiences. But here's the part that jumped out at me. Castle's appearance will bring dramatic changes to the world of Matt Murdock, and nothing will be the same. It makes me wonder, how personally could he actually hurt Matt Murdock, or can you see them, even if he starts off, let's say he's the villain of this season for the most part, can you see them ultimately kind of coming to terms?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, well, here's what I think is going to happen. You know, like they set up this whole world to be the Defenders, and they didn't really have, you know, Punisher in that mix. But that's not to say that they couldn't have him in the mix. I think he's going to start off as a villain. At the end, they're going to come to some kind of understanding, and then we're going to get the Punisher series.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Or a Marvel Knights. You're that much closer to your dream of a Moon Knight show.
I know.
I mean, it's actually never been probably more plausible.
It's close.
So you're excited then with the idea of not just Bernthal, who is a great actor, and he looks like the Tim Bradstreet version of the character, but, you know, are we finally going to get the definitive Punisher? He's had 3 times at bat and has struck out each time. You had the Dolph Lundgren, the Thomas Jane one, and then the Ray Stevenson one. Yeah,
I feel like this is the environment in which he's going to thrive. And we've been saying this for a while, like, let's take Punisher into a serialized realm, because I think you can understand the complexities of that character. You know, like in a movie, I feel like everybody was rushing to make him that killing machine so they could get to the action and violence.
Charles Bronson stuff,
But in this, it can be more of a slow burn, or he can even show up on the scene and be super violent, and then you work back through his story.
And they can also, I mean, they can plumb sort of the emotional depths of that character, where they did try to in the movies, but they always kind of had to pump the brakes so that he could go and just have an action sequence, you know? Or you'd have like the Dolph Lundgren one. I think his line was, "Sometimes I talk to God," or whatever. And he's like kneeling naked in a sewer or whatever the hell was going on.
As the Punisher often does.
But I don't know, overall, any final thoughts on this and what it means for season 2 of Daredevil?
Well, the interesting thing, to kind of go back to your other statement about what that potentially big thing could be, I'm thinking Punisher probably kills somebody close to Matt, right? I mean, maybe Foggy. That's I think he's too integral to the series to kill him. But maybe Rosario Dawson's character.
I mean, that's possible. If she takes in criminal, she could get caught in the crossfire. We don't know.
So in that case, I could see him being like hell-bent on, you know, stopping this guy, because if he does something personally, you know, I kind of feel like if this guy was just going after Kingpin, I don't think he would be that fussed about the Kingpin getting offed by somebody else.
Yeah, he'd stop for coffee first and then show up and say, you shouldn't have done that.
It's just he has to keep his own code of ethics straight. I don't think he would shed a tear if Kingpin was killed, but I like this. I like this as another dimension to season 2, because I don't think season 2 can just be, you know, Daredevil squaring off against Kingpin again for the entire series. I think there's going to have to be more dimensions.
You always have to up the ante of what the threat level, and you know, there was a lot of character-driven stuff with Kingpin that I loved, but, you know, for those who were probably just craving, can we just get to some of the action, you probably get a little bit more of that in different kinds of action too.
Yeah, and I think they're going to weave in some more Arcane stuff too, because they're kind of setting that up with Stick's character, etc. So we'll see some of that too, I think. But you know, so far I think it's a really, really cool dimension. I think Bernthal's perfect.
What if Punisher kills Stick?
Ooh.
And now we're just fanficking this thing. We're going down the rabbit hole on this one. But we want to know what you think about the casting of Jon Bernthal as Frank Castle, the Punisher. He's finally back. Maybe this time is the charm. And do you like the idea of him maybe being the villain of Daredevil Season 2? Let us know in the comments below. And for all things Marvel's Daredevil, Netflix, Marvel, everything, keep it here on IGN.